As a real estate investor in Nigeria, especially in the Enugu State real estate market, you don't verify property with emotions. You verify property, either land or houses, by carrying out proper due diligence. And in today's video, I'm going to explain to you simple steps that you can adopt to know if a property is genuine before buying. So the number one step is that you need to verify the title document. So this is actually the first step that you need to adopt when you want to buy property. So this means that you need to request for the document that is covering the property that you want to buy, whether it's a house or a land. So you request for documents like deed of assignment, register survey plan, C of O, or whatever document that covers that property. So when you get these documents, then you can now go to land registry and then check if this property is genuine. So I'm talking about the original document, not the photocopy. So most time when you want to buy a property, sometimes when you request for documents, you will hear these sellers say things like the document is not with them, or maybe the document is still in process, or maybe the owner is not available at that particular moment. So this goes far to tell you that there's a suspicion over that property. It's already a red flag. So whenever you want to buy, always ensure that you have access to the original documents of that property. Then you can go to land registry, you verify it at the Ministry of Land, the deed of assignment, to check if that documents are registered with land registry to know if it's free from government interest. And also, if it's survey plan, also you need to verify this document at the land registry. Even if it's C of O, whatever document it is, ensure that these documents are registered, because if they are not registered, it could be a serious issue in the future if you buy that property. So always verify these documents. And whenever the seller is giving you reasons why they cannot present this document to you, please run away. That's already a red flag, and that goes for to show that that property is not genuine. Number two, confirm the seller has the legal right to sell that property to you. Now, when you want to buy land, the very first thing that you need to do is to carry a due diligence on the seller. Now, this means trying to know if this person who wants to sell this property to you has the legitimacy to sell that property. You want to know the name of the person who is selling to you. Then you can compare it with the names on the document. And then in a situation where the name of the seller is not corresponding with the name on the document, that's already a red flag. I don't understand that sometimes people can stand in to sell a property that belongs to another person with the permission of the owner. Now, in such kind of situation, you also need to involve the real owner and to be sure that the person gave the seller the right to market that property on his behalf. So when you want to buy the property, always ensure that the seller has that right, because if you are buying a property that the owner is not the one selling to you, it could be a serious issue in the future, because a lot of persons have sold property that did not belong to them. Maybe they sold the property that belongs to their brother, or maybe they sold property that belongs to their father without the consent of the real owner, and that became a very serious issue in the future. Number three step is that you need to conduct a physical inspection. So physical inspection is very, very important whenever you want to buy land. Even if a video of a particular property, maybe a land, a house, is sent to you, you need to go there on ground and then see that particular property. So physical inspection helps you to know the location of the property that you want to buy. Take, for instance, you want to buy a land and you are told that that land is in a particular place. It will help you to know if that land first truly exists. It will help you to know the actual location of that property. Physical inspection will also help you to know the current condition of that property, to know if the current condition will be able to contain whatever structure you want to erect in that particular property. So physical inspection is very important. And another good thing about physical inspection is that it helps you to know if there's any land dispute over that property. Take, for instance, you went on site inspection, you get to see the property, and then if you have the privilege, you can ask the people living in that particular location, ask them the information about that property to know if there's already existing issue or dispute over that property. And then when you go for site inspection, you're also checking out for vital signs that indicate if that property has any issue, or maybe if the owner does not want to sell that property. Take, for instance, you see signs like the of 419, you see signs like covet and toll. So these signs goes far to tell you that that property is not for sale, or maybe if there's any issue over that property. So site inspection is very, very important. Then number four is that you need to check for encumbrances. So this part is very, very important. Outside going to land registry to check if the land is registered, this part is also very important. You need to check for encumbrances. So I'm talking about issues like land disputes, issues like land litigation to know if that property is in court. Because sometimes people want to buy land, but they didn't take out time to know if that property is in court. And sometimes after buying that property, they will now find out that property is already in court, and that becomes a very big issue. So if you want to buy land, know if there's any land dispute, know if there's any land litigation, and then even know if that property was used for a collateral. Maybe someone used that property to obtain a loan in the bank. So these are the things that you need to check out for. So checking out for these encumbrances will help you to buy the right property, because if you don't take out time to do these things, you might end up buying a property that you get to regret in the future. Finally, demand proper transaction. Now, when you must have finished carrying out these processes from step 1 to this step 4, then when you now want to make payments, you need to demand a proper transaction. So I'm talking about paying through a bank transfer instead of paying with cash. Because sometimes when you want to buy land, especially individual land, you will hear the seller tell you, okay, pay in cash, I need the money in cash. You don't need to pay in cash, because if you pay in cash, you will not have any proof of payment. That's why you need bank transfer. So when you make a bank transfer, even in the future, you can always trace it back that on a particular date, you made a payment to a so person. So that's why bank transfer is very important. And after payment, you need to request for every document that is involved in that transaction. Documents like the receipts, document like the deed of assignment, the register survey, and if it's a property that has a CFO, you also need to request for those documents. Document like contract of sales. So these documents are very, very important. So when you make payment, ensure that you get all these documents, because these documents are the documents that you're going to use to still sell that property in the future, in case if you want to sell that property. So if you're an investor, are you looking for a genuine property here in the city of Enugu? You want a property that is very affordable, that is registered, free from government interest, free from land litigation, and free from any form of encumbrances. Then go ahead, call or WhatsApp the number showing on your screen, and I will help you make the right investment.